Hurricane Nate made a second landfall early Sunday in Mississippi, the first hurricane to make landfall in the state since Hurricane Katrina in 2005, after cutting a deadly path through Central America that left at least 21 people dead. Nate roared ashore with maximum sustained winds near 85 miles per hour, but weakened later to a tropical depression as it moved inland, the U.S. National Hurricane Center said. As of 11 a.m. EDT, the NHC said Nate was centered about 40 miles southwest of Birmingham, Alabama and moving north-northeast near 23 miles per hour. The storm originally made landfall in southeast Louisiana in a sparsely populated area. The storm is now expected to bring 3 to 6 inches of rain from the central Gulf Coast into the deep south, along with a threat of isolated tornadoes from the Florida Panhandle and eastern Alabama across western and northern Georgia, according to the NHC. Mississippi hit with flooding, power outages. A sailboat is beached near Margaritaville and the Golden Nugget in Biloxi, Mississippi, Sunday, October 8, 2017, after Hurricane Nate made landfall on the Gulf Coast. Justin Sellers, the Clarion Ledger via AP. Justin Sellers, the Clarion Ledger via AP. As Nate pushed ashore, the hurricane spawned storm surge in coastal areas, flooding the parking structure of the Golden Nugget Casino in Biloxi and pushing water several blocks deep into the city. It kind of surprised us, Mike Kovacevic, who lives 2 blocks north of US 90, told Biloxi officials on their Facebook page. We didn't expect to be this deep. It come in pretty good, a lot of water. Around 28,000 customers from multiple utility companies are without power in southern portions of the state, but officials from Mississippi Power, which covers all 3 counties on the state's Gulf Coast, told Fox News they expect to fully restore power by Sunday night. A crew from Gulf Power works to repair a damaged line from Hurricane Nate on Sunday, October 8, 2017, on Okaloosa Island in Fort Walton Beach, FLA. Nick Tomasek, Northwest Florida Daily News via AP. Following Hurricane Nate, our dedicated team at Mississippi Power is actively assisting our customers in restoring service, Mississippi Power CEO Anthony Wilson said. The safety of our customers and employees is our top priority. We know how important electrical service is to restoring quality of life after a storm, and we are working hard for our customers and their businesses. On Bellefontaine Beach, a narrow strip of land between the Mississippi Sound and a coastal marsh that was destroyed by Hurricane Katrina, one resident told the Associated Press said it wasn't as bad as he thought. This is my first hurricane, John Adams said hours before the storm made landfall. So far, it's kind of a fizzle. Governors in Louisiana, Mississippi and Alabama declared states of emergency. The 3 states have been mostly spared during a hurricane season that has spawned devastating storms such as Harvey, Irma, and Maria. This is the worst hurricane that has impacted Mississippi since Hurricane Katrina, Mississippi Emergency Management Director Lee Smithson said Saturday. Everyone needs to understand that this is a significantly dangerous situation. Nate sends floodwaters into coastal Alabama. A large truck drives through a flooded water street in downtown Mobile, Alabama, during Hurricane Nate, Sunday, October 8, 2017, in Mobile, Alabama. AP photo. Bryn Anderson, Indiana, Alabama. The storm's rising water flooded homes and cars on the coast, and inundated at least one major thoroughfare in downtown Mobile. Dauphin Island Mayor Jeff Collier told the AP he woke up around 3 a.m. Sunday to discover knee-deep water in his yard. David Emerson, left, and T.J. Kruger, right, wade through a flooded street during Hurricane Nate, Sunday, October 8, 2017, in Mobile, Alabama. AP photo. Bryn Anderson. Although some homes and cars on the island had flooded, Collier said he hadn't heard of any reports of residents needing to be rescued from the floodwaters. Collier added water levels appeared to be falling as dawn approached. Storm surge also flooded Water Street in downtown Mobile and a ground-level causeway across Mobile Bay. Alabama Department of Transportation traffic cameras show water still standing on both those routes before dawn Sunday. Alabama Power said as of 8 a.m. there are 71,000 customers without service, with most in the Mobile area, but the effects are moving north. New Orleans spared worst from Nate. Tourists walk down Bourbon Street as Hurricane Nate approaches the U.S. Gulf Coast in New Orleans, Louisiana, U.S. on October 7, 2017. Reuters. Jonathan Bachman. The hurricane passed to the east of New Orleans, which placed the most ferocious winds and storm surge away from the city. Nate's quick forward speed lessened the likelihood of prolonged rain that would tax the city's weakened drainage pump system. The city, famous for all-night partying, was originally placed under a curfew, effective at 7 p.m., but the mayor lifted it about an hour after it had begun when it appeared the storm would pass by the city. Streets in the famed French Quarter were not nearly as crowded as they typically are on a Saturday night, and Mayor Mitch Landrieu asked people to still shelter in place. Some bars were closed in the French Quarter but music blasted from others. I don't think it's going to be that bad, as far as a hurricane, Michael Dennis of Atlanta told the AP. Mayor Mitch Landrieu said at a news conference Sunday there's no reported damage in New Orleans, but there was localized flooding outside the flood protection zone. He thanked first responders at a morning news conference, saying city officials felt 100% in their response, and noted a few arrests last night that were unrelated to the brief curfew. We knew in a fairly short period of time there was a chance we would have tropical storm and hurricane winds, he said. The storm wasn't enough to stop a Georgia couple from getting married at the World War II Museum in New Orleans. Mike and Kendra Groves told NOLA.com the museum's early closure meant their scheduled 7 p.m. wedding would have to be pushed up, but they planned to head to the hotel bar to ride out the curfew. We never considered canceling, Mike told the news outlet. In Plaquemines Parish south of New Orleans, officials evacuated 240 residents who were not protected by its levee system as the storm approached. While it appears we're being spared, our hearts go out to Mississippi, said Amos Cormier, president of the parish. Even though the worst of Nate moved east of New Orleans, officials were still busy with water rescues to do choppy waters before the storm. Officials in Louisiana said that people had to be rescued from 2 sailboats as Nate approached. The first rescue happened about noon Saturday, when 2 people had to be helped off a 41-foot sailboat that lost its engine in Lake Pontchartrain. The Coast Guard said both sailors were in stable condition. A second rescue occurred in the Mississippi Sound, according to Melissa Scallon, a spokeswoman for the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. Scallon said a distress call came in around 3 p.m. after a sailboat struck rocks at Bayou Caddy west of Waveland. An abandoned boat takes on water on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Saturday, October 7, 2017, near Biloxi, Mississippi, as the outer bands of Hurricane Nate begin to batter the shore. Justin Vicor and Clarence Ledger via AP. Scallon said the State Marine Patrol responded and plucked 3 people from the water, but no injuries were reported. Meanwhile, key shipping ports across the U.S. Gulf Coast were closed Saturday, as Nate drew close, Reuters reported. Daily oil production in the region was slashed 92% and daily natural gas production was down 77%, the report said. In addition, workers were evacuated from 301 platforms and 13 rigs as of Saturday, Reuters reported, citing information from the U.S. Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement. Fox News' Willie James Inman and the Associated Press contributed to this story.